Hi everyone, it's John and Eric Imes.
Hi.
We wanted to shoot a quick video invitation to the upcoming PRRT Level 5 Way Beyond seminar. But before we go through some of the benefits, I wanted to get Dad to give you some insights as to how it was created.
You know, this has been in the works for over a decade, maybe even longer ago than that. I just felt that even though the Beyond was such a phenomenal training, as you've all shared your feedback, there was more. I just knew there was more that we really still needed to be talking about, and for me to be demonstrating, and then for you to be applying it with the patients and clients that you're seeing. And so that's what this is about. This is much more, especially as it relates to the autonomic nervous system, a very fast way of assessing that, and then also a very fast way of rebooting it, and having both you and the patient or client have an immediate change in all the things that you find by exam and how they feel. So it's just an extremely important level that would be something that you really need to take part of. And the other thing I want to share, so I don't forget later in our conversation with you, is that this is the only seminar level that I've ever taught where we had all 5-star reviews from all of the 4 previous Way Beyonds that we've taught. And you know, I'm so humbled by the fact that, as you may know, it's not easy to get 5 stars on a regular basis, but to get all 5 stars, all the attendees who've been at the 4 levels of Way Beyond that I've taught before, I mean, it means that this information really resonated with them and that they really saw the value in it, as will you when you're here.
Yeah. Speaking of what's going to be covered, we have what's now called the master exam. Why is that important, and why should they be using that?
Because the master exam allows you to very rapidly assess what's going on that may be driving the person's pain, at least making the pain worse than it otherwise would be. And it has a lot to do with the autonomic nervous system, and it's a whole different process than what we've taught you before.
So after the master exam, they're taught what we call the global parasympathetic reboot, which is a collection of 6 techniques. We've seen over 80% reduction in the NSR findings with the master exam just from one of those techniques. So why are those so critical?
Well, because virtually no one else that I can see in any other trainings is talking about these, and especially not understanding them and showing them. So, like I said, the autonomic nervous system drives the bus. We're all under a great deal of stress. When we have injuries and if the pain never completely resolves, this may be something that has some influence on the autonomic nervous system, which it frequently does. So again, to be able to reboot someone out of this pattern and to take them back to a normal balance between sympathetic and parasympathetic, and to do it in a matter of seconds is almost unheard of. And again, to have people coming through the seminar and having the sense that this is the best of all of the seminars that I've ever taught. Also realize, I'm 73, I'm not going to be around forever, and I may not be teaching many more years. So I don't think you should wait. I think you should be here. And by the way, you can bring your spouse, and I'll be happy to evaluate and treat them during the seminar. And if you have any of your kids that have, let's say, sports injuries, and you want to bring them along, I'm happy to. I've never done this before at any seminar before, at any level, including the Way Beyond, but it's something that I feel gives value in a way that I've never seen anyone else teaching any seminars who would make that invitation. So know that, and I'm doing it for this one, and I may not be able to do that in the future.
Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting for us as far as staying on schedule, but we'll make it work, because there's other things that we have to go into.
I know that that's a challenge,
Yeah.
But when you see me evaluate and treat people,
Yeah.
that's part of the learning, the value of learning. And again, I will have to pace myself so that if we do have spouses to be seen and children, I'll have to be, figuring out how to have the time to do that And I won't necessarily be treating them each day either. So that's another thing that we can have the ability to see how much change we can have in one session with them.
So they'll be able to witness you putting into use. We came up with a dozen in-depth modules: headache, suboccipital, cervical, low back, psoas, TMJ, cranium. They'll be able to witness you using those new modules on the patients that you see.
Yeah, I
during
mean,
the week.
it's one thing to sit and talk about the approaches or the concepts, but it's another thing to have, you know, people in pain who've had other forms of treatment usually done and have not succeeded, and then for us to be able to show you how to reboot them out of pain and then give them instructions on what they can do to reinforce it. And especially if they're your loved ones or you that has pain issues. I mean, again, I never went to any seminars where, before I started teaching, that the instructors ever offered to treat everyone in the attendance in the seminar. It never happened before. So I think that's part of the value of what we offer. And also, you will be benefiting from this new technology, the way we're rebooting the autonomic nervous system in a way that no one else is teaching.
So they know for the in-depth modules, you're going to be going over background information, new treatment protocols, nutritional information. Why is this important to share with the attendees this time around?
Well, because I think in this day and age, it's critical that you're staying up with what's known, both nutritionally and with supplements. And for instance, right now, what's really hot is hemp oil. So, you know, we'll talk about all of these things that are currently really popular, even though they're new, but and how much they could play a role in being able to add value to what you're doing with the PRRT techniques.
Yeah. Well, we've had tons of great reviews, and this is just a brief intro to what you're going to see when you join us. There's going to be registration information below the video, and we just wanted to say thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you, and don't miss this one because we don't have plans for another one at this point next year. So this is one you need to be sure to attend.